John, I guess, what do you make of a contest like that? You've had a few, when you've lost, they've all been close ones, but what do you make of how that game finished up in the last few months there?
Oh, I'm just really proud of our players. I mean, to be able to have a contest like that when you lose next on 3 players in your team pretty early in the game, I thought was an outstanding effort by our players. Absolutely outstanding. And sometimes, you pull up short against a team that's won 6 in a row, and I think it lost 3 quarters for over the last month. I just thought our blokes were outstanding. Hopefully that's it's recognised, because I think they did a great effort when they lost, so many players and in pretty hot conditions were able to play the way we did.
You talk about the injuries. I know that there's obviously the 2 guys that couldn't finish out the game, but Will ran out the game. He looked like he was pretty sore when he came off with that ankle. I mean, can you speak about his effort?
Oh, it was incredible. That's why our players just were terrific, and sometimes you come off games and you should have played better, and you're really disappointed because of how you play, and your effort wasn't up to the level of what's required. I couldn't say that about our players today. It's just early in the game it was a pretty warm day, and the way we did, we would have been a great one to win. Would have been a really top-notch effort to win, and we didn't.
So you think it did eventually take a toll? One short on the bench, plus it seemed like you were restricted in where you could move.
What do you think, Michael? What do you reckon?
It's better to hear from you than me.
I don't think I need to say that.
Just on Dane and Paps, have you got an idea of how they are?
No. They're obviously serious enough. I mean, Ramps was a calf and Paps was an ankle, which was disappointing. 2 pretty important players. I'm not sure what Will's story is yet either, so to wait and see.
I guess you could continue to talk to the fight. Brisbane headed you a couple of times, kept fighting back. I'm not saying it would be easy to roll over, but you can speak to that, particularly in that last quarter. You mentioned the heat and everything else, so that ability to keep fighting.
I just, and they had, what do they have? They had 10 scoring shots in the last quarter. That a couple of times they just got on top of us through stoppage and were able to get ground position in that last quarter, which meant we were under the pump a little bit. But then we came back out and threw counter punches whenever we could, and we counter punched well and got in front again. And unfortunately, a big contest went up, and the McCluggage last quarter was significant for them. Obviously, kicked a couple of goals, and the spill ball that landed on the ground can go one way or not, and it went their way, and they picked it up and kicked the goal from it. But that doesn't detract from. I just think our players' effort was of a really high standard, and sometimes you just got to acknowledge that. Would have been a fantastic game to win. Would have been one of the all-time really good ones.
Is there anything in the the tight losses that you would look to address, or is this just a different?
Well, I mean, we sort of, we had chances. We just had shots at goal and missed them against 2 of those games when we just got down to the last minute and missed shots at goal. So if those shots go through, you master it quite well. But every story is a bit different today, where I thought we just, we were undermanned and we kept on having a crack and kept on counter punching, and we've got to do it a bit better. Yeah, it would be great to win 2 of those, but we haven't got them on the board.
I think you've been asked about it 100 times, but the first quarters you gave up gave a bit of a head start, obviously, which doesn't help. It feels like you'd obviously overturned it by half time, but just the frustration of the first.
Yeah, we've got to do better than that. We've sort of got a couple of it's something we've talked about, we've spoken about, we've tried to train it. We've got to get better at it. It's trying to do what we do before pre-game or something, but we've got to just do better than that. I mean, Brisbane, and obviously when you're sitting at the top of the ladder, the teams come out and go hard, and you've got to expect that. But then you've got to counter punch better earlier than that, and there's nothing wrong with actually throwing the first one, and we haven't done that as good as what we can do.
What do your thoughts around the Lockie Neal? Obviously, he's always a talking point, but it seemed like Adams was following you quite a lot, and you really nullified his influence.
Yeah, look, he's a superstar, but we had Mills, McInerney, Rowbottom out of our team today, and then you lost Papley and Rampy. It's not too bad an effort, hopefully. On a team that played in the grand final last year on their home deck, so we had to give Adams and Parker 2 jobs probably that are not normally used to, and they were able to do a pretty good job. You know, he's a very good player, Lockie, and they've got a good midfield. So for those blokes to come in and play a role for us as a team was really good.
What did you think of those guys? They're the guys that are, particularly Parker, I guess, he's just freshly back. Like, what did you see from him today?
Well, I mean, those guys split a role on Lockie, and so that was a big job for them. So I thought that they were able to contribute in that. You know, that was their main role, to be able to do that. But you know, we're not sure what we get back next week, but you know, we still believe that these blokes they do a good effort. When they're putting in an effort like that, it gives you every chance, and you know, we'll look at the close ones and try and get that better.
Harris Andrews was pretty influential in the first half. Did you have a plan for him? What was that?
Yeah, we did. I mean, we tried to restrict it. We tried to shift the ball a bit, but also try and play on his back a little bit. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. I thought he got on top in the second quarter, and yeah, there was times where he played really well, but we were able to adjust that at different times as well. All right.